Hi friends, Leslie Brooke here with Forging Fitness Training Studio, and I'm here to teach you 3 exercises that are gentle on your knees. Not only will they be gentle on your knees, but they'll help to strengthen your knees so that you can move more freely without the pain. We're going to start with a TRX. Now a TRX you can purchase at many different places. It's a great at-home tool. I have mine anchored into the ceiling, which you definitely have the option of doing that. But with the kit, it comes with an anchor that you can put on the inside of a door, close the door, and then you'll be secured nice and tight. You can do a total body workout on the TRX. Today I'm going to show you 2 different kinds of squats to do on it. But this is definitely a great at-home investment if you want to start some strength training at home. Okay, so let's start with squat number 1. This is going to be a lot more gentle on the knees than the other one that we're going to do. You begin by putting your feet right outside of your hips. So you want to look at the insides of your feet. You want them on the outsides of your hips. You can turn your toes out a little bit if that feels better on your knees. It's totally up to you. And then you want your feet kind of in front of you so that your body's at an angle. If you've got a good anchor on your TRX, you don't have to worry about falling because that's what these are designed to do, is hold you. So you're going to come back at an angle, so already your weight is out of your knees. Then imagine that your tailbone is the tip of a pencil and you're going to draw a D with your tailbone. So stick your tailbone out. We're going to draw the round part of the D with the tailbone. Scoop down, bring your tailbone right between your knees, close to your heels. And now we're going to draw the back part of that D, the long straight piece. So go straight up with that tailbone, and that's your full D there. So let's try it again. Tailbone pushes out. Draw that half circle coming down, and then lead straight up with your head coming out of the squat. Now, what I mean by leading straight up with your head is this. You want to lean back, come down, and lead up this way. Don't let your tailbone come up behind you like that. When you lead up with your tailbone, you're taking the work out of your glutes. We want your glutes doing the work because the more work they do, the less work the muscles around your knees has to do, and that's going to take a lot of the pressure out of that joint. Okay? So last time on this one, draw the D, come in, stand straight up. Our second option, if you think you can handle a little bit more than that, is to do just a standing straight up and down traditional squat. So you move your feet more underneath you, and then you're going to move into a squat like normal. You're just not going to lean back. So you get to use the TRX in this situation to help pull you up so not all of your weight is in your legs. The TRX actually takes some of that pressure off for you. So to drop into a proper squat, you want to push your hips out behind you, drop straight down, and stand right back up. And then just use that TRX to help pull you up. Now, I'm dropping really low for these squats. It's the flexibility thing that I've been working on for years. You're just going to drop down as low as you can comfortably go. About 90 degrees is the traditional squat. Okay, but the lower you can go, you're stretching out your hip flexors, you're stretching out your back and your upper back. And I'll tell you something else real quick. On the TRX, one of the stretches that I love the most is getting into a deep squat and bringing my ears between my biceps and just getting a nice stretch along the back and through the arms. So there you go. There's a bonus movement for you. Okay, that's it for the TRX. It's on to number 2. All right, so our next exercise involves a piece of equipment that everybody is sure to have at home, and that is a piece of wall to lean against. We're going to do the wall sit for exercise number 2. So we can call it the wall sit or the wall squat, whatever you prefer. But we're going to be doing exactly that. Now, what I like about the wall sit is that you're not actually doing any dynamic movement. You're not going up and down, putting any hinging motion on your knees. What it's going to do is you're going to teach your muscles to have a static hold position, which teaches them to stabilize for you, which allows them to get stronger for you without that up and down movement. All right, so to get set up into the wall squat, you Pick a piece of wall that you can lean against. You bring your feet out in front of you, just like on the very first TRX exercise that we did. Bring them out in front of you, set up the insides of your feet on the outsides of your hips. Press your hips, low back, mid back, and shoulders up against the wall, and slide down. Now your goal is going to be to get eventually down to a 90-degree angle, but for those who need to start small, that's okay. Just get into a good position where you feel nice and stable and you feel your legs clamping down and doing the work. So in this position, you want your knees pressing out. You don't want them collapsing in. Low back is pressed against the wall, and try not to lean forward. That's going to take pressure off of your glutes again, and we want our glutes to do the work. So sit up nice and tall, back up against the wall, shoulders back, and then just hold this position as long as you can. And again, you want to eventually work into coming down to that 90-degree angle. So you might feel your knees shaking. Time yourself, see how long you can stay here. Shoot for 20 seconds to begin. Work your way up to a minute. Also in this position, you should be able to wiggle your toes. You want all of your weight directly down in your heels, not in your toes. In a squat, if you put your weight into your toes, you're sure to use those muscles around your knees, putting too much pressure on your knees. And our goal here is to really strengthen the hamstrings, the glutes, and the big muscles on your thighs to help keep support around the knee and not make the knee take so much pressure. So once you're done, you built up to that 1 minute, you can take a break. Now you can start off with 2 to 3 sets of 20 seconds and work up to being able to do 2 to 3 sets of 1 full minute. If the wide stance gets pretty easy, one option is to move your feet in a little bit more narrow, and that'll make it just a little bit more difficult, but again, just be sure you can wiggle those toes. All right, our third exercise is going to bring us down to the floor, which I think there's a lot of people that'll say yes to that. We actually get to lay down on our back for this one. This is going to be our floor bridge. Now this exercise is really good for everybody. All of these exercises really are, but this is really good for helping to strengthen the low back, the glutes, and the hamstrings all at one time, and it's pretty user-friendly. So to get into a floor bridge, just bring your feet right up, line it up with what's called your sits bones, those bones that are right in the middle of your glutes. And you're going to lay back with knees bent. You have a couple of arm positions here. You can choose to put your arms down to your sides, which will give you more brace. Or you can lift your arms up, which will take away that side bracing, and it will actually make you have to use more balance to complete the exercise. So arms down or up, you want to place your heels into the ground, squeeze through your low abs, squeeze your glutes, and lift your back up off the ground. Tap your tailbone and lift again. And it's as easy as that. Now one option here, if that gets pretty easy for you, you can complete like 20 of those without needing a break. You can lift one leg or place it on top of your other knee and do single leg bridges. Now another really fun option is to bring in some sort of a ball or a step if you have an exercise step or something to put your feet on. This will lift you up a little bit higher, give you just a little bit more of a challenge, and increase your range of motion. So you put your feet flat on top of the surface that you're using, and then you're going to lift your hips as high as you can, squeeze through your glutes, and come back down and tap. Now this is a really high range of motion, and again it has to do with flexibility and kind of working on that flexibility throughout time. So if you're getting kind of stuck right here, that's okay. Just work on doing these more and more often, and you will eventually work up to having that flexibility to move up and down. Okay. And that is it for our floor bridges. So there's 3 exercises there for you to help strengthen your knees and to help take away some of the pain in your workout. If working out has been painful to you and you've been avoiding it because of your knee pain, then now you have no more excuses. You can at least work on these 3 exercises. So if you give these a shot, do me a favor, comment down below, let me know what you think about them. Also, I would love it if you would subscribe, click the little bell so that you get notifications when I make new videos, and just let me know what you guys would like to hear about. I would love to tell you. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.